Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we talk about all things Marvel Crisis Protocol and review a different character every week. I'm your host, Jared.
I'm Brad.
I'm Fred.
I'm Brandon.
Yeah, and this is the cast. Welcome. For what
Gang's all together.
I don't know. Yeah, for once, Brandon decided to come join us at the very start of the cast. That's nice, man. We love it.
Showed up on time,
That's good.
Got to keep everybody on their toes here, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't even. I should probably check. I don't even know how many episodes we're in now.
I number them. This is 31, I think.
31. That's crazy. Like,
That's more than half a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been doing it.
I'm pretty sure when I put up the last one, I had to change the 2 in the tens digit to 3.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been fun. It started this off as just a fun little thing for us to do, and look at us, 31 episodes in. It's nice.
Yeah, we have at least 2 fans.
We have at least 2 fans.
Them.
We've met them. Yeah,
met them.
yeah. So we know for a fact that at least someone listens. We know Michael listens.
They also can't lie about being a fan either.
We
know
Aaron. We know Aaron listens too if he's not a liar.
Aaron listens for the box talk. He don't listen for anything else.
Mm.
Aaron listens for a specific reason. Yeah, well, welcome back to the cast. This is our Arnim Zola episode. You thought that we were going to do Human Torch, but we tricked you again. Now we're going to do Arnim Zola. And we'll see how long we can't keep this going. Come on, AMG, give us new releases so we never have to fucking look at Human Torch.
There's someone out there really wanting to know about Human Torch.
I mean, they probably know about him. They probably just, if they're listening, they probably are curious what our awful hot take is on him. And you'll never know. It's our secret.
I've never read that card.
Oh, that'll be good. You continue to not read it, and you can experience all the joy, or in your case, it's probably going to be disappointment that you'll get from reading.
Spoilers.
I thought that.
Well, it's just not a very Brandon character.
I thought that he really liked that one ability that I thought it was like Nova Burst or something like that. You even put something in the chat. I thought in the Discord. I thought you read that card a little bit.
I don't know.
Oh, well.
I'm reading it now.
No, just save it.
I'm not reading it now.
God.
He's ruining his initial reaction.
Yeah, I know. News and announcements. So for upcoming tournaments, again, Second Wind is October 15th and 16th. You're probably now running out of time to get in there. So if you're not on the wait list, get on it. I don't know what else to say. October 22nd at Booker Games in Ohio. They are having a tournament. The check-in is 11:30. Dice off at 12. Is a $10 entry fee, and they're giving away a prize for best painted 17 threat. So it has to be a squad that you can put together at 17. And they'll give you a prize for the best painted. So pretty cool there. There is a tournament at Fabricators Forge in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, September 24th at 10 a.m. That's a $10 entry fee as well.
By the time this goes up, that might have been yesterday.
Oh, it might have been yesterday. Okay, yeah, maybe. So good luck to everybody at the tournament. I'll just say that instead. Once again, I just kind of plug stuff that is the surrounding Charleston, West Virginia area. So just
Parker, Pittsburgh and Ohio
surrounding area.
That's real near us.
They're the state. Yeah, they're the states that's just like all around. You know, around.
It's
West
drivable.
Virginia. Yeah, it's drivable for us. So
If you're in a 6-hour radius, we got you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but if you do listen to the cast and you want your not your podcast shit, you want your tournament plugged, you can just message me. I'm Sev on all of the MCP Discords, or you can email us at crithitwild@gmail.com.
spell that for people.
crithitwild@gmail.com. I'm not gonna spell it. It's fine.
No. Your username.
Oh, it's just SEV. SEV. That's how you can find me. My profile picture is a Sentinel. So there you go. But yeah, if you want your tournament plugged, just send me all the relevant information for it. If you want to send me just like the Longshanks tag and stuff like that, I'll make sure to plug it on the cast if you want to get the word out about your tournament. So Yeah, as far as other, oh, I guess I could have looked this up ahead of time. I'm terrible. Um, what's the CP number for Sentinel? Does anybody know?
The one box is 160. The other box is really low because they didn't plan on 2 boxes originally.
Okay, so really quick, if you're following us on YouTube, I'm pulling up on Cerebro the 2 tactics cards that did get released for the Sentinels. Well, we've already done a review for Sentinels, but these are what are currently known in the the Mark IV Prime pack. So the leader pack is going to have these 2 cards in it. I think it's been, if you look on the description for just the standard Mark IV Sentinel box, it has said that there are 3 tactics cards that come in that box. So between the Prime box and the regular Mark IVs, they're getting 5 tactics cards altogether. We don't know what the other 3 are yet, but as soon as we do, we'll make sure that we review them on one of our casts. But these are the 2 cards that are coming in the Prime box, so I was going to read them off here and see what you guys thought about them. So we have online and operational. So it requires Sentinel's affiliation. It's active. Sentinel Prime may spend 8 power to play this card. Choose an allied injured Sentinel Mark IV within 3 of the Prime. The chosen character removes all damage, removes all special conditions, and drops all objective tokens, and then flips its card to the healthy side. So what do you guys think about online and operational?
It's nice. It unmesses them up, which that's their biggest problem is when they get flipped, they become much worse.
Yep.
I mean, 8 power is a lot. That's a lot.
He'll have it though.
Yeah, he's probably someone who will be swimming in power. So I think it's really cool. I think it fixes that problem that the Sentinels have, that when they get flipped, they get in trouble.
Yep. I think it's probably like an auto include.
Yeah.
Pretty much every time. I mean, it's like Age of Ultron, except a little bit worse, right?
Or
Yeah.
better. So let's say they had like 2 injured characters and you had Ultron injured. You're not winning that point, and there's not really anything you can do about it. But if that were a Sentinel instead of Ultron, you can pay 8 power and you get that point.
Oh yeah, you can just flip
That
them
point's
right down the point.
yours.
Yep, that makes sense.
That's fair, but also it's active, so it's not like you can do it when the thing about Ultron is
you have to have an activation. That's all
Right.
you need. You don't have to have that model active.
What makes the Ultron one really good is that he can do it as he dies.
Yeah.
So he can undie. And in this case, you can't undie one of them. They have to be still alive.
Yeah. I figure people will be playing this card almost as soon as they flip.
Oh yeah.
And you have to take them through the healthy side again. If you can survive like an attack, it's like even better, but almost immediately.
I like your use of undie. There was, I'll never forget. I was playing I think it was like a game of League of Legends with a couple of my friends, and my friend Josh kept DCing over and over and over again. So it kept saying, like it kept audibly saying, a summoner has connected and a summoner has disconnected, like back to back, like repeatedly for like 20 minutes. This person was like, if this doesn't stop, I'm going to commit unalive, and I had never heard that before. That really cracked me up. That reminded me of that. What do you think, Brandon? You like this card?
Yeah,
I
think if you're
you play a lot of Ghost Rider. It's nowhere near as good as Deal with the Devil, but you like cards like
not-
this, don't you?
yeah, it's not Deal with the Devil, but it's really good. I like if you play games with me in card games, I don't like to pay for things, so anything that can kind of revive or bring back is kind of right in my wheelhouse.
I mean, didn't you run a list that had Ultron and Ghost Rider, and then you ran Deal with the Devil and Age of Ultron?
Yeah, it was a really good list.
So...
Fuck play it. Wong is a perfect sacrifice. Makes sure everyone's healthy. Gives the extra power to Ultron. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think the card's good. I think if you're gonna play Sentinels, I think I'm with. I think Brad said it. I think if you're playing this, you're auto including it in your list. I think it's pretty well auto included if you're gonna play Sentinels, unless somehow the other cards are just ungodly. but the other card we're gonna show is not.
No,
So
it's not. Yeah, let's move on to that. So it's Under Your Skin. This is unaffiliated and it's reactive. When you include this card in your squad, choose one non-Sentinels affiliated character in your squad. It is now a Sentinels affiliated character. If your squad is using the Sentinels affiliation, when the chosen character is deployed, it gains a nanite token. After all characters are deployed, discard this team tactics card. The character with the nanite token gains the flight and immunity poison bleed superpowers. So you actually had a little bit of backstory as to like the theme of this card, didn't you, Brad? You tell me.
Yeah, I really like the flavor of the card. So in the comics, they create these nanite sentinels that they put inside of just normal people, and when they get near a mutant, the nanites activate and convert regular people into cyborg sentinels that are part machine, part meat, flesh. And then they override their brains with sentinel programming. And so mutants would run around, and then just random people would turn into sentinels and attack them. It was pretty cool
Yeah, I like that.
in the comics. One of the sentinels, they're called Omega Sentinels because the creators thought these were the last type of sentinel that they would need. So this would kill all the mutants. Anyway, but one of the Omega Sentinels, she finally got back control of herself, and she actually joined the X-Men for a while. But she's back to being a bad guy.
As far as MCP goes, I don't know that I'm a super huge fan of this card. This is essentially the same way that Shields works, where you can make a character a Shield affiliated character. It's really, we'll have to see what the other three cards are. If there's, the other three cards would really want you to have like everything be affiliated. So even, your splash characters, then maybe. But I don't, right now,
The benefits aren't that bad on this card, but they're not like stellar.
I mean, right now, because the only other card we have is online and operational, which requires Prime to pay for it. So I don't know that this is worth a Taxes card just to give one character flight and immunity to poison and bleed. That's kind of a niche thing. I don't really like the cards that like you're just a card down at the very start of the game.
I mean, it would be great against Hydra.
Yeah, that it would be good against Hydra, I guess.
Your whole army would be immune at that point.
I'm not saying that this probably can't like make it 10. I just think it's like it'll be super niche if you do need it. But I mean the Hydra is actually a pretty good point if somebody's playing Strucker. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. Now, just to clarify, this does not allow you to hit affiliation. So if you're taking, under 50% or 51% of like Sentinels, so if you just take like a Prime and then like one Mark IV for a 9 threat, you can't take two unaffiliated characters, play this, and then get the 51% threshold to be Sentinels. You have to already be affiliated when the squad hits the table, and then you choose tactics cards. So this will not help you reach affiliation. So just wanted to clarify that. But yeah, what do you guys think? You guys think you take this ever or no?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd have to see what the other cards do. If there's like a card that says that all Sentinels have to pay, all Sentinel affiliated models have to pay X to get X benefit, and it's really good, then maybe.
What about, let me pitch a card to you guys. Play it during the power phase. Any Sentinel character can pay 2. You gain a healing factor 2 for the turn.
Oh my god.
Anyone who pays.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Would you take the card then?
Maybe.
Because that would
That's a lot of healing.
That would be a flavorful card that fits the fluff. Because they do heal. Well, Mark IV is not so much, but Sentinels.
That's about the power level that card would have to be.
Yeah, like it'd have to be a really strong effect, I think, to really make you want to.
Healing factor for one turn isn't like broken.
It's not.
I think that's within
Oh,
the
I thought you
realm.
meant yeah, but like I'm
existence.
just saying that's the baseline. Like it can't be worse than that.
I think
I
to
think
give.
that's pretty good effect.
I think that
Like,
yeah, given something healing factor 2, and then at the whole game they have flight and then immunity to poison bleed. Like I think all that stacked up makes this card like something like that could probably make this card worth it, but I don't know.
yeah.
But then you're at basically three tactic spots.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
they had
It's two
something
because
like
you'll take the other one. You'll take the repair of Sentinel one.
if they had like an all according to plan card, I would probably definitely take this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Something like all according to plan.
What about a Wakanda Forever type card?
Yeah, I think that maybe that also like if it's like a Wakanda Forever or Siege of Darkness or like an all according to plan, like these cards that are so stellar that you see them in like all those rosters. And like, cause that's part of the reason why like you
X-Men need a card like that.
do they?
Yeah.
First
like,
class.
I feel like they got a lot going on already.
If you get one, you don't get first class anymore.
No. Both.
You don't get both. Sorry.
Both.
Yeah, I don't know. Jury's out on this card. We'll have to wait and see. See what else comes in the pack. See if it makes it worth your own. Because I mean, you're definitely going to need a splash if you're wanting to kind of main Sentinels. I mean, you're just going to need a 2 and a 3 threat in there at least somewhere. Most games to try to balance out your points. So it very well could be worth it if they get something very very stellar in their other 3 cards. But speaking of all according to plan, Brad, do you want to cover the changes really quick that we figured out?
Oh
from the
yeah,
last
that
cast?
we've been playing it wrong.
Yeah.
So since they added the timing charts like almost a year ago at this point, apparently all according to plan gets played in step 2, and gaining power for the power phase happens in step 1. Well, gaining the initial power happens in step 1.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone would gain their 1 power, and then you can pay for the all according to plan. And at least locally, we've been playing that the other way around. But
Now, if it's something like Infinity Formula, like you power up,
Infinity Formula,
it comes in step 3, right?
the extra power would be in step 3.
So you can't get the Infinity Formula play. You'd have to play all according to plan before
You'd
that.
only get the initial.
Yep.
And then you could get the character because the character specific power.
Yep.
Because that's also in step 2, and you can do it first.
Okay. So a little bit of a we misspoke on the last cast. I believe we were talking about Red Skull's card. So you would be able to power up before playing the I can't think of the name of it, but the one that gives him the extra action.
The trap one.
Yeah,
it's
the
not
trap.
a trap.
So
I refuse.
It is a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. All right. Well, that is all that I have for this week's news. And I guess they did show that the price tag for the Wolverine Sabretooth terrain kit is about $100. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So,
But it comes with a bunch of terrain.
Yep. So that did get announced. So
we also saw the price tag for Blob and Pyro, but it wasn't surprising.
He's gonna defend that. He's gonna defend that $100 price tag until Infinity because he's gonna end up buying like 4 of those boxes.
I'm not gonna buy 4 of them. I'm gonna buy 1 and maybe someone else's terrain. But what was I saying? Oh, it's like 40 or 45 for Blob and Pyro.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right. Well, since you're already talking, Brad, why don't you take the floor with any Cerebro updates you have?
I do have 2 updates. I had one planned, and then someone pointed out a bug that I had to fix. So the planned update was there's now a lock your roster button. This was requested by someone quite a while ago, and it's mostly aimed at people who do multi-week events and don't want to not be thinking and get in there and change their list from week to week when they weren't allowed to. It still will let you change the name, add notes, and change your win, loss, and ties. But it won't let you change any characters, tactics, or crisis cards. You can't delete any, you can't add any until you unlock it. and it's just a toggle, like no password or anything. The other one is a bug fix. So I made it real quick that you can add 2 Sentinels to a roster, but someone emailed and pointed out that on the breakdown screen where it shows you your possible list, it never showed lists with 2 Sentinels in it. So I had to add, I don't know, it wasn't very much. It was less than a dozen lines of code. And you can now, it'll show you 2 Sentinel lists.
Awesome. Thank you for. You have a shout out? Do you remember who did that?
I can look real quick.
Thank you.
That was very recent.
Thank you for sending in that feedback. It keeps Brad at work because he doesn't do anything in his spare time. So he needs to stay busy, don't you, Brad?
Yeah. I have so many planned updates for it. It was Chris Wills. So
Thank you very
Chris,
much,
if you're
Chris.
listening, thanks. If you know Chris, tell him he got a shout out on the podcast and he should listen to it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well,
Not even that specific Chris. Literally any guy named Chris.
if you know a Chris, tell him to listen to the podcast, and yeah.
Tell him he got a shout out. He'll have to listen to the whole thing. It'll be fine.
Then when he says, I don't think that they were talking to me, just say, don't worry about it.
Yeah, just put that phone on Do Not Disturb. It'll be all right.
All right, well, do you have a Longshanks statistic or fact for us this week?
I do. I even had it up and then opened a different window on my browser. So we're going to play a little game again today because those are fun. And I have in front of me the crisis statistics. So it's broken down between extract and secure. And we're going to guess what the highest and lowest played are. So let's start with extracts because they're listed first. What do you guys think the most played extract has been?
I think Struggle for the Cube. I think it's the Cube.
Okay. Red says
So
cubes.
This is most. I'm going to go with hammers. Fear grips the world as worthy terrorized cities.
Okay. We got hammers from Brandon. And Jared, what's your guess?
Should I say something that somebody's already said, or should I say something different?
What's your true guess?
I was very torn between hammers and research. So.
Research. I'll say research just to keep it different. I'll say research.
Okay. So the correct answer is hammers.
Yep.
Let's go.
With just under 1,900. Number 2 is Struggle for the Cube.
There you go, Fred.
At 1,450.
Oh, way lower.
There's a big gap.
Big gap.
Yeah. And then
I don't think I've ever seen a list that didn't have hammers in it.
Research Station is not even in the top 3. Number 3 is Spider Infected. People like their wide, lots of things.
I literally hate Spider Infected. I was just hoping it wasn't a part of it.
Okay.
It's because it came in the starter box. It's the starter box ones.
Not hammers.
Not hammers, but hammers people use, but the other 2 are starter box ones.
Yeah. What is the least played?
I am assuming that we are not allowed to guess Wakandan herbs because it's no longer a legal one to play.
No, he's fucking trolling. You can guess Wakandan herbs, Fred.
Well, the problem is Panic's been banned.
Panic is the one that's been banned
so
forever.
it's going to be the least.
It's Panic. Panic, I can't believe it, still has 63 games on here. Somehow. The Panic is the least. Wakandan herbs, I think.
2 for 2, baby. Let's go.
I think Wakandan herbs, it's the second lowest. I think if it wasn't banned, it would be the lowest, even though it'd still be legal. They have 306. So we'll get the least played that's legal, since you guys now see through my troll.
Least played.
I would have guessed. I guessed correctly, so I'm 2 for 2. I don't really care for shit what happens now.
What's the least played legal?
Want to go with Senators? Mutant Extremists, target U.S. Senators.
Formula.
Ooh, that was
okay. So we have a Senators and we have a Montesi. Jared.
I'll go Fisk. Mayor Fisk.
Okay. The correct answer.
Mayor Fisk is a secure.
Mayor Fisk is a secure.
Oh, it is. I'll just do. Oh shit, you're right. I'll do.
Come on, Jesus
quick
Christ!
decision. Alien ship.
Oh,
Okay.
God. No way.
I know it's
No
not.
way,
I just
Jared.
said. I
No
said
way,
the first
Jared's
one.
right.
The least played is Research Station.
Wait, really?
I'm just kidding. That's not
No,
true.
it's
Oh,
not.
No,
okay.
the least played.
He just
is-
said it was fourth. All right, I don't know what's
is-
happening here.
I said it wasn't in the top 3. I did not say it was 4.
I just can't imagine being lower than 4.
Senators is the lowest played
Let's go. I'm really good at this game.
at 603. So just
That's pretty
keep
low.
in mind that is a
1,000 less.
sixth of what Fear Grips was, which is the most
Yeah.
played. A sixth. Montesi Formula is the second lowest at 950, and Alien
Look at me,
Ships
always second lowest. I'm always second.
and Alien Ship is
Right, it's
the
okay to be
third
second
lowest
best.
at 959.
Really?
Only 9 games more
I-
than
real
Montesi.
I didn't
Real
know
close.
that. I didn't think that I was. I thought it'd be somewhere in the middle, but wow.
No,
Yeah.
it's the third lowest.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen we've seen a drop off from Voodoo and Black Hat, right? So I think like single extracts and shit are starting to go down. That's why everybody's going so
Oh
like, wide.
no, I missed one.
Oh,
Number 2 is actually Deadly Legacy Virus Cured. So
That's-
bump those other 2 up a spot,
That's
third
a-
and fourth.
that's surprising.
And then the next one after Alien Ship is Research Station, but that's because there's only what?
There's like
8
only
of
one
them.
other extract.
Yeah,
We've mentioned all of them. That's the entire list.
yeah,
so.
that's the entire list. All right, there are more secures. I don't think none of these are banned, right? They're
There are
good
no
at
banned
designing
secures.
these. Okay, so what is the most
There are 2 banned
played-
extracts and then a ratted one.
Yeah. What is the most played? And this surprised me.
Ooh.
It surprised you.
It did.
Oh God, that changes my answer. I don't like it.
I'm gonna say Scoundrels.
You mean the one that
Oh,
just
the
came out?
newest one. Interesting.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm not batting very well tonight, so I'm just gonna whatever my gut immediately hits. I'm just gonna guess.
is it Riot Spark?
Oh God, now I have to guess. Since it surprised him. Damn it! I
May
really
not
want.
surprise you
Just
guys,
say,
but it surprised me.
just say Gamma. I always wanted
I
to say
wanted
Gamma.
I wanted to say Gamma, but now that it's surprised, I'm gonna go with Infinity Formula goes missing.
I bet.
I think
I bet.
Brandon looked them up after we talked last night.
Oh, I think he did.
No!
I think he did.
You think I would give that much credit to anybody? No, I'm here. I'm here for this. I'm fucking killing this game.
It is Infinity Formula goes missing.
Let's go. If you wouldn't have said it surprised you, I would never even looked at it. But I 100% was on. I was 100% on. It was. I was torn between Gamma and Demons. I was actually probably leaning towards Demons, and but as soon as you said it surprised you, I was like, it's not. It's not one of those.
I don't think people are playing Demons right now. I really
I
don't.
hate Demons. That's my least
Demons
Got it.
is number 2.
Wow, I feel like I have not
Gotta
seen
hate
that
Demons.
ever.
I think
Number-
people just love high points and ease, man.
Number
Yeah, that's
3
true.
is Riot Spark, and number 4 is Gamma.
Wow, Riot Spark beat Gamma?
Yeah, by
Because it's the starter box.
It's
about
the 15.
about 65-ish. So Infinity Formula is just over 1,400, and then number 2, Demons Downtown, is 1,227.
Are these a lot closer in number than the extracts were?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the least.
Oh boy.
So what do you guys think is the least played?
The least played Secure.
Uh-huh.
I'm also torn on this one.
I'm struggling between if I want to say Terrigen, Portals. 'Cause, like, Portals, I feel like I have not seen that ever. I really don't.
I think Brandon looked them up after we talked last night.
Portals. 'Cause, like,
Portals is fun.
or Cosmic Invasion. I feel like it's one of those three.
I'm torn between Cosmic Invasion and Sword Base.
Not sword based. I'm gonna guess Terrigen Clouds. I'm putting my token down.
All right, I'll take Cosmic Invasion.
Okay. And Brandon, where are you going?
Just take Sword and be right, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sword Base.
Okay. So the least played is Mayor Fisk.
God
Ah.
damn it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought
Number
that was...
number 2 is Cosmic Invasion.
All right.
Number 3 is Sword. Number 4 is Terrigen Mist.
Okay.
So we were all. I mean, we were in this.
Yeah, you were all down there where you should be, but it's Mayor Fisk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
345 games.
I am
I-
off.
It's 345.
I like Mirror Fisk. Like I like to
I
play
do
it
too.
on certain.
It's
Like I really loved playing it with Malika. That was so good. That was a fun time for me.
I'll be honest though, like I don't know if I've ever played it more than like one time,
Yeah.
I definitely have.
and I put it in lists all the time.
How do you
It
not
just
like
never
this?
gets picked.
Yeah, it's in a lot of my lists, like because I play Criminal Syndicate a lot.
Oh my
it's in a
gosh.
lot of my lists. But
I was just looking at one of the other pieces of data on here, and 17 threat is played twice as much as the second highest threat level.
I mean, isn't that like
it's also twice as much. It's twice more than the
it's
second most.
3,800 games, and the next highest is 1836.
I feel like 1700 is like that's like the best points value in this
But
game.
for the record, there are 7 crises that are 17 points. I believe the next highest is 18 with 3.
And that
Tied
is
with,
the
like,
next
18.
highest.
Yeah.
That's the next highest amount.
Did you hear Brad? He just had the sext highest. We're already starting.
Hey yo, 18. I think 20 has 3 too, right? Yeah, 20 has 3. So there's 18 and 20 both have 3. I think 16 might have 4. I'm looking. 16 has 3. 15 has.
Well, this is
great radio.
This was fun. This is fun.
So 17 has more than half of the second highest. Yeah.
More than double.
That was a
Yes,
good
sorry.
that was a good Longshanks section, Brad. Thank you.
Okay, good.
That was fun.
I aim to
Enjoy.
please.
All right.
And the winner is me.
Yeah, it is you. Congratulations.
I'm still not convinced you didn't cheat.
I honestly don't even like to log. I make you put my roster on Longshanks when we play tournaments. What makes you think I would go on that website and like scour for this information?
Because you really wanted to know last night.
Yeah, I just went home and drank some whiskey. It was fine.
All right. Well, for this week's weekly topic question, whatever you want to say that I have for you guys, it is what do you think is the strongest superpower in the game? Now that can be either just a super like an actual superpower, or it could be something with a similar effect. But what if there was one superpower that you had to pick that you're like, I'm gonna put this on like all my characters? What do you think is the best of the best in the game?
Oh, I know the answer to this question.
Then start off.
I'm getting that correct name. I was knee deep in extracts, and I was on Longshanks looking stuff up. Blah. The best superpower you're talking about, like just like okay, like something you can activate or static, or doesn't matter.
It could be passive, active, reactive, whatever you want.
Spirit of Vengeance.
Spirit of
is the best one in
Vengeance
the game.
for Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Is that the get the power or is that the
Yeah.
Okay.
After attack targeted allied characters resolve if it dealt damage, character gains power.
All right, Spirit of Vengeance. What do you got, Fred?
That one's really good. But what is it? I don't know it off the top of my head. The one that allows Doctor Strange to reroll any dice in his pool.
Oh,
Or he rerolls all dice.
he rerolls all
all
dice.
All dice.
Okay, well, anything that lets you reroll any dice in your pool.
Any
Okay.
number?
Any dice, not all dice.
Oh, just dice.
I don't know if that
rerolling.
exists. Guys, my brain's not on today.
Captain Marvel has an attack.
It's an effect on some attacks.
Oh no.
That's
Zemo has it. Master Swordsman on physical attacks. He can reroll any number.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Baron Zemo.
All right. So Master Swordsman. I'm gonna go ahead and step in here, Brad, if that's okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
It has to be shapeshifter. Like,
Shapeshifter's pretty amazing.
without a doubt. So during
You got
a
me.
character's activation, enemy characters cannot use reactive superpowers or team tactics cards. That second part is so huge. So for me,
it's real good.
100% it's shapeshifter. If I could have that on all my models, I would. Go ahead, Brad.
I played.
Oh.
So the two I think Shapeshifter probably wins this, but the two I thought of immediately were reduced damage, no minimum.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Is really good.
Yep.
And then you can't reroll attack dice or modify.
Oh, you can't modify.
Dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really good too.
Yep, those are good ones. What were you gonna say, Fred?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that in the most recent tournament, you let me use your Mystique, and she was very, very useful.
I love that model. She's
Mystique
amazing.
is criminally underplayed.
Jared, I told you
Very
Mystique was good and Fred was bad.
He did say that. That is actually verbatim.
We have not talked about the tournament yet. I did not do well.
Yeah. All we need is AMG to give us a character that has all these superpowers, and then we'll be set, right?
Oh my god, that'd be the most broken thing ever.
Not if they don't do anything else. If they just have like a range 3 dice, a base attack, and then their spenders like range 2 4 dice, and that's it. They don't do anything else.
Just
have those 3 powers.
Just make him 15 threat. There you go. Problem solved. No one will ever play it.
It's One Punch Man.
It is One Punch Man. All right, yeah. So I just wanted to shout that out and see what you guys thought. Pick your minds and see what you guys thought was the best. 'Cause I don't know that we've ever actually talked about that around the shop, but see what you guys thought the best superpowers were. But so instead of talking about our games we played at our LGS, because spoilers, there were no games played at our LGS this week. I thought that
we still had fun.
Yeah, I thought that Brad and Fred could do a quick rundown of the tournament that we held, that Brad held, this past Saturday in Charleston. So why don't you guys take it over and just give us a little bit of a rundown of the tournament.
Fred, yours probably won't take very long, so you go first.
Oh, I see how it is. Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. I played a combination of Cabal, Malekith, and Hydra with Baron Strucker. And I didn't do great, but that's because of me, not because of that combination. I'll tell you this. I learned something about Guardians of the Galaxy, and the card, the Crew of the Milano, is an absolute hard counter to what Baron Strucker did. He used it at the most devastating point, and all of a sudden I couldn't use any of Baron Strucker's stuff, and it was awful. It was the worst thing that could have happened.
That's
and then
brutal.
Gamora killed 2 models in one activation without any difficulty. So that game did not go well for me.
Crew of the Milano and the Strucker seems like real rough. So.
It was real bad. And of course I did not bring Malekith in that game because I was worried he was going to drop She-Hulk, and he did not drop She-Hulk, and I felt like an idiot.
Scared money don't make no money, bro.
Yeah.
You had him totally psyched out. If you had dropped Malekith, you totally would have won that game.
I don't know. It is Borka. Borka does kick my ass every single time.
Yeah, but he didn't have his tack. It would have been tough for him.
Yeah, I don't think you lose, to be honest, that matchup if
I had Malekith on the table.
Yeah.
I
if
mean,
he
And
would
he
have played
doesn't
the,
have She-Hulk.
yeah, he has to play that exact same list. But like, if you put because that's the thing is like She-Hulk's that hard counter for him because like Malekith is going to tear through Guardians.
I mean, he's gonna do that, and then they can't wing it against him, so they're just
that's
relying
true.
on 5 dice attack into 4 dice with skull exploding. So I don't think that they do very well into it. Like the She-Hulk tech in there is that's really smart. But yeah, I think that you would have had a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about the rest of your games?
I played Michael the first round, and Michael pulled out a win, but that was a much closer game. And then I played Joel the last round, and I won that game. It was and in both of those games, I played Malekith Cabal, and enjoyed it quite a bit. Malekith is fun to play. I also played an extra game at the end against Steven, who came down from Ohio, and Steven brought a fantastically painted list. Like his models looked incredible.
Yeah, he is. He's got some really good stuff.
I mean, it was like, holy moly, that blade looks like a comic book character.
Did he play Midnight Suns?
He did. He played Midnight Suns, and I played Malekith, and Ghost Rider basically ate me alive.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Well, you didn't play any, did you, Brad? Or yeah, you did.
Yeah, I
'cause you
did.
played in the finals. Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah. I played X-Men, and it was the list I've been playing, except I've changed a couple tactics cards and one character for tech against Malekith, and that character change, I'm probably just going to change to She-Hulk. Because it's complicated tech and She-Hulk's easy tech. She-Hulk go at Malekith, it hit.
Yeah. She-Hulk walk up,
End
Hulk
problem.
smash. Yeah.
So I played Storm the whole time, of course, and my list goes super wide. And I played Joel first round, and it was an interesting game. But Joel he's playing a new faction, didn't know his models well enough, and I pulled that one out. And then I played Michael's Avengers second round, and I'm having a hard time remembering this game. I know he played Hulk, and Magic ran away from Hulk the entire game. And I scored a bunch of points, but it was one of those things where I tried to position to make him ineffective, and it worked out for me, especially that Hulk. And then I was in the finals against Borka's Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was struggle for the cube and sword base, and we played 17 points. And I always go wide, and he knew that, and he also went wide. We were both 6 wide, and I usually had the priority, which I don't normally do with my list because I go so wide. And on sword base, going last is a big boon.
Yep.
So it was real close game. We were tied 16-16 before the last round, and we ended 19-21 in his favor.
That is so close.
Yeah, it's very close. He was hard winning attrition. They just hit harder than the X-Men. I believe that at the end of the game, all I had on the table was Toad with 3 cubes on the edge of the mat on my side. So there wasn't really anything I could do at that point, but it came down to he had one attack with Gamora and probably throw her as well, the assassin leap, at Domino to kill her, and she had like 4 health left. And if he had not killed her, I would have won the game 17-15.
Wow.
Because she would have ran away the next activation. So it came down to he had to kill her or I win and he killed her.
I think
So.
it came down to him putting Drax on the table, right? Isn't that like your arch nemesis?
It did suck because I purposely I did 2 magic spenders into Drax to daze him, and she fell short, and then he dazed 2 models. So,
Oh my god, Drax.
Fred, do you know how like She-Hulk is like Malekith tech?
Yeah.
Drax is Brad tech.
anyway, we talked about it afterwards, and we pretty much agreed that if he had not gone wide, he would have had a much harder time winning that game. Because I was actually ahead on points the first several turns, and if I had last activations, I would have easily stayed ahead. I think so.
It seemed to
Going
me,
wide was the right thing for him to do.
yeah, it seemed to me like in every game that he played at that tournament, like he did a very good job with roster or squad creation.
Yes, yeah, it did seem that way. But he's been playing a lot of Guardians lately, so
yeah. All right, well, I'm glad that you guys had a good time. Thank you, Steven, for coming down and hanging out with the guys again, playing some games. I'm sure it was good to see you again. I wasn't there, but if I had been there, I would have liked to have seen you again. So, but all right, I think we're ready to move on to character review. So, let's take a look at Arnim Zola. He is a 2 physical, 3 energy, 4 mystic defense stat line. He has 6 stamina. He comes in at 3 threat. He's a size 3 character and a short move. I think that... No, he stays the same health, so I don't think there are any changes on his injured side. He has 2 attacks. He has prototype weapons, which is range 4 dice. Before choosing a target, you get to choose if it is physical, energy, or mystic. So I believe that's the first attack in the game that has all 3. After this attack is resolved, this character gains 1 power, and it has the Wild Hydra Ingenuity. After this attack is resolved, for each wild in the attack roll, the defending character gains 1 of the following special conditions: bleed, shock, slow, stun. So on 4 dice, not super consistent, but you know, when you spike and get a bunch of wilds, it's very good. He has the energy focused ESP box blast. So his range 3, 6 dice, 2 power cost. If this attack deals damage after the attack is resolved, this character may advance the target character short, and it has wild slow. After this attack is resolved, target character gains slow. He has an active superpower, experimental enhancements. It is 3 power cost. During the next attack made by this character, add 2 dice to its attack roll. After the attack is resolved, if the attack roll contained any skull results, this character suffers 1 damage. He has the reactive Hydra Engineering. When this character or another... Oh, good.
Does it do 1 damage or is it bleed?
no,
this character suffers 1 damage.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Oh no, you said it correct. I'm mixed up here. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
You got the wrong power, is what
I'm
you're
on.
thinking.
yeah. Bleeds on the next one, yeah. So Hydra Engineering is reactive. While this character or another allied character within 4 is attacking or defending, during the modified die step, this character may spend up to 3 power for the superpower. For each 1 power spent, this character or the allied character may reroll 1 of their attack or defense dice. So similar to Shuri, but has after the attack is resolved, if the allied roll contained 1 or more skull results, the allied character gains the bleed special condition. So, like Sherry, except if they roll skull, then they get a bleed when you buff their dice.
And he can affect himself. That's also different.
Yep. When does the... So you would pick when things trigger because it's your turn, right?
If they have the same timing.
So Hydra Engineering, like he spends the power and lets them re-roll dice. Let's say they do a damage, they roll skull. So like they damage a character, and that happens after it's resolved. What I'm asking is, like, do they get the bleed and then can immediately put it on, or is the bleed
That is a
trigger
great
after?
question. That is a good
Let me read Let me read Strucker real quick. I think you can give it away.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just rattle off these last superpowers here.
Mhm.
Passive scientific hubris. Whenever this character rolls dice after the effect is resolved, it gains 1 power if it rolled at least 1 crit. We see that on Doc Ock. And then lastly, he has immunity to bleed and poison. So,
Uh,
yeah,
the
go ahead.
leadership and that ability have the same timing, so you should be able to take bleed and then give it away immediately.
There you go.
That's
So,
incredible.
yep.
That's fantastic.
If you're playing Strucker, it's good. So yeah, and again, there are no changes on his injured side. I don't. Let me double check.
I don't think there are.
Nope, they're not. So everything's good to go. So, yeah. What do you guys think about Arnim Zola? Let's start with you, Brad, because you. Wait, Brad,
Oh, great.
did you buy these?
He loves Nazis, so we should start with him.
Did you buy these models, Fred?
I did. I played them in the tournament.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. So, go ahead, Brad. I was just to say Brad was the only one that picked them up, but that's not right. You also got them.
That's not right.
Yep.
So I think Arnim Zola is an interesting take on Shuri.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, Shuri's good. He's probably not as good as Shuri, but he has his own tech. So instead of pushing, he gives out conditions. He can also hit their weakest defense, which is pretty strong. The rerolls work almost exactly like hers. Gaining bleed, if in faction, the gaining bleed is a non-issue. Or if you play him in an Avengers list where everyone's immune to bleed, like Michael.
Damn it.
Yeah. And adding extra dice is always good. The roll skull, take a damage. That's also great. I love that he is immune to the bleed that he would cause himself.
Right.
That's great.
Because he's a robot.
I also like that he's only 3 points. The 2 physical defense is a little scary though.
He does a
But
lot
he
for
should-
3 threat. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, he should be standing far enough away from the main fight that they're shooting energy and mystic at him. Hopefully,
I can tell you, having experienced it, getting Gamora run up and hit him once was enough to take him out.
yeah, absolutely.
It was very bad.
All right. Well, what do you think, Fred? Since you got the floor.
I think he's awesome. I love a lot of this. The interesting models in Hydra affiliation, where a lot of them are cost 3 and have these super interesting, like very complex rule sets. Like Arnim Zola is very useful on the table. He's the 2 physical defense is, and he has no real way to buff himself aside from re-rolling his own defensive rolls. But he's 3 points and he does a lot for 3 points. I really like him.
Okay. What about you, Brandon? What do you think?
I think he feels like a mini MODOK.
Mini MODOK. Interesting.
Yeah. It's just like the large base. Like you don't want to get him near anybody with physical. He moves small, like, and he just, robot, half robot type of shit.
I see.
Like he just feels like he's never gonna be in the fight. I think he's pretty good though. I'm not sure he's like a game changer, but I definitely think he's a solid to above average role player.
I think he's all right. I think, like, I like the model until I heard that half of him was. It's a big pain in the ass, the model, if you haven't put them together yet. But
only if you want him painted.
only if you want him painted, which I'm sure people do. But
Not this person.
he has, like, so prototype weapons is like a really, really, really good attack. I understand why it probably only gives 1 power, because being able to always counter, their best defense or their defensive tech is really, really good. I like that he can give himself like 2 extra dice for the attack to make it 6 dice, and you can pick any type. But 3 power costs is a little steep. I feel like most of the time you're just going to be doing Hydra engineering. It's
Yeah.
hard to get the crits out there. I mean, like 4 dice and spike. Like if you played a rapid fire character, like you can get good spikes just chucking 4 dice attacks. But I feel like you're kind of leaning into the scientific hubris a little bit more because he definitely is very power hungry, and I just don't know that he's going to get the power to do it unless he's being actively attacked, which you don't really want. Focus ESP blast is a very good attack, but it is it's just okay. I think for the most part you probably want to do prototype weapons. Giving out slow is okay, but it's very annoying that he can advance the target if it does damage. Like I think Michael was the one that pointed out in the Discord that like he can immediately just like move sentinels, which is like it's like one of the very few things that's annoying because it's not a mystic attack. So yeah, that's
Arnim Zola and Magneto.
Yep, they can move them around with their attacks, which is very annoying. It's doubly like Magneto makes perfect sense. I'm on board. Arnim Zola, fuck that. That's stupid. But
I mean, he does. He's
He
like,
gives them a virus.
I know, but I don't like it. I just don't like it. But
to be fair, Magneto should also be able to throw them, and
that's fair. He is probably my least favorite Hydra member. And like even though he can do so much, and like it is neat, I think that he's probably like my least favorite Hydra member that they've, as far as new releases goes. But
He's
yeah.
3 points. He's only 3 points, Jared.
He's 3 threat. It's really, really good, and he does a lot of really cool things. He just doesn't generate
Yeah.
power well, and
Yeah.
I don't know. But
He can't
like
do everything.
every so often, I think we just have to review Crossbones, so Fred has some sort of non-super positive take.
well, I think that we can move on to the character rating. So, Fred, what you played him this past weekend? What are you going to give him?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a B+.
Okay.
And remember, fans, Fred went 1 and 2 last week, so let's.
Oh,
that is correct.
Don't bring that up.
I am not good at this game, and my grading system
that's
is
not fair. You're good.
Hey, my grading system has no basis in any sort of schema that I'm not coming at this with any formula for how to grade them. I'm just going off the cuff.
There you go.
And I'm giving him a B+.
All right. What about you, Brandon? What are you going to give him?
I think he sees a lot of play in Hydra, especially under what's the Nazi's name? Baron Strucker.
Baron Strucker.
The Nazi's name out of the 2 leaders.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. All right, I might have a little fucked that up. I'm not. I don't think. I think he's a pretty auto take under Strucker. I'm not sure you always take him under Red Skull if you're playing Hydra.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much you splash this character. Small movers with bad defenses are tough. He does want a lot of power. He again feels like a model that looks interesting. Like there's a lot of stuff he does, but I feel like he's always going to kind of let you down on the table. So I'm going to give him a C.
Okay. You don't think that you take him with Red Skull, a 3 threat? Red Skull gives him more power.
I said I don't think he's an auto take.
Okay, I got you.
And I think it's just because I feel like they might want to go a little bit wider and a little bit more moving, and he might not. I don't know. He might be an auto take with both of them.
That's fair.
I don't know if you take him anywhere else.
I got you. All right, Brad, what you got?
I think I actually kind of like Fred's B+. I like my solid. I'm going to take them in faction to be Bs, and I think he's pretty good in that role. So B+ sounds real good.
He's got a lot of good stuff. The reroll's good. The health is good. I'm gonna give him a B-. I think that when we're looking at affiliation and stuff, he is pretty good. I mean, the access to the rerolls and stuff is fine. Coming in at the 3 threat and the 12 health really kind of sells me on him in faction. So I'll go B-. I think that he's, for me, that's where he goes. So what does that give us? A two B pluses, a B minus, and what'd you give him, a C?
This is a spread out
A C plus?
grade.
Did you give him a C plus?
No,
That's just a C.
No plus. Just a C.
All right. Well.
That
I-
probably averages to like a B minus then,
I could be persuaded up to a C plus, but
and then we might be a B. I think B sounds-
Scientific hubris.
I don't.
I'm just gonna say random
I
stuff he's
do.
got.
Well, I do like the 17 of Red Skull, Strucker, Zemo, and Zola. That's probably pretty solid. I don't know. I'm sticking with my guns. I feel like if you're gonna play them, you're probably gonna play him. He's definitely gonna be in your list. I don't know. It's
All right.
not doing it for
No,
me.
you're good. All right. Well, why don't you take us through a comic book recommendation this week, Brad?
Okay, I can do that. I tried very, very hard to throw an X-Men comic in here, and it's just he barely appears in them. I wanted ones that you'd actually get some Arnim Zola. So I've got two recommendations here. First is Captain America 208 through 212 by Jack Kirby. So this is his first appearance. It's in this comic. And he kidnapped Steve and a woman. I should have wrote her name down. And then he brings them to his island, and he needs Steve for his plot, and the plot is real wild. And I recommend that people read this just to see what his plan is. It is truly like comic book bonkers villain plot. Great. Oh, I also learned from a Marvel wiki today that before he was a robot, Arnim Zola was like 4 or 5 or something like that, and his robot form is only 5'10". So
Well, he's a
our mom
giant.
yeah.
He's always been portrayed as a very short person
Yeah.
before, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The models, I like how big the model is, but it is a bit surprising. Okay, so
they had to overcompensate.
Another Jack Kirby recommendation for those keeping track at home. That would be, I don't know, you guys are the ones keeping track. So the next recommendation, I tried to also pick something fairly modern for people to read. And so I did Captain America, the 2013 series, issues 1 through 10. I believe he keeps showing up after that, but 1 through 10, definitely about him. He's the main villain, by Rick Remender and John Romita Jr. Arnim Zola isn't usually the main villain in a comic, so you're going to get a lot more of them from this than you would elsewhere. But he once again kidnaps Captain America Steve Rogers, but this time to Dimension Z.
What is that?
As far as I can tell, it's a Zola thing, but I wasn't sure because I had never heard that term before. I looked up this comic. But Captain America works on trying to escape from Zola and his minions the entire time. And I'm not entirely sure what his plot was for this. He needed Steve Rogers' blood for something. And Steve Rogers runs away with a baby that was in Zola's lab, and it turns out that that's Zola's son, and it sounds like a pretty wild comic too. But it sounds very interesting, and Rick Remender is maybe considered the best Captain America writer in history.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So people will probably like that one.
What was the Captain America comic that had like the busty Captain America? Like you sent that before. It's like thumbnail.
That is a Rob Liefeld sketch. It's not in a comic. It was just a drawing he did.
Oh, okay.
And that picture is ridiculous.
That's good.
Yeah, I absolutely trolled you guys because I was gonna say I was gonna put it as the thumbnail
for
the Captain America episode, and you're like, I don't know about that. That's what you the real one.
Yeah, that was god awful. Like I was like, that's
It was
terrible.
bad. It was bad.
I'm glad that wasn't in a comic because it was really
Yeah.
bad.
Well, Rob Liefeld, he was very, very, very popular in the early 90s
Oh,
as an
okay.
artist. But looking back, people like most people consider him a bad artist.
I mean, I can only base what base his stuff off of that one Captain America picture. But I'm willing to say yes.
One of the things about Rob Liefeld is he didn't like to draw feet, so he would arrange people so that their feet were covered or their feet were off panel. So like if you see his covers, like people will be standing in front of other people's feet, or there'll be a rock there or a bush, or
I mean, that's
he didn't have to draw them.
That's smart though, right? Like
I mean, in a way, but it's also ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for those comic recommendations, Brad. Brandon, do you have a roster recommendation for us this week?
Man, I always got a roster. What you mean?
My boy.
It took a little bit of finagling. I was gonna be lazy and just recommend you playing with like Criminal Syndicate, but I ain't that way. I think you playing with Blade and Midnight Suns.
Okay.
They need lower point models. The bleed definitely helps. You can kind of tag team him on the back point. You keep Blade near him, get the bleed extra bonuses and stuff. He gives out bleed, so that's my recommendation. So you can have a core of Blade, Ghost Rider, Arnim Zola, Moon Knight. You're at 15. It's a pretty solid 15.
I really like experimental enhancements on like Blade, making him 7 dice Mystic with Pierce. Seems good.
Yep. Oh yeah. Or just adding dice to any of the Ghost Rider's attacks.
12 dice Penance Stare. Let's go.
Is his card
Ron,
Hydra only?
Let me look at that.
We got to talk about that card.
Oh my god, I did. I forgot about the card.
We got Yeah, I did too.
I don't know that there is a card.
It is Hydra.
Okay, so you can't take that Midnight Suns and then like
No.
give that to one of Midnight Suns.
Oh, it's scientific method. It's Hydra. It's active. Arnim Zola may spend 2 power to play this card. You choose another character that's on your team that is threat 3 or less, and within 3 of Zola, they take 2 damage, and then for the rest of the game, they gain an attack and a passive superpower. So the attack is a range 2 6 dice Mystic attack that only costs 1 power. And before the damage is dealt, the target character suffers 1 damage for each skull in the defense roll. So it's a range 2 Mystic, 6 dice, and then if they roll skulls, they take a damage for each one. So it's really good. And then the passive is Unnatural Mutation. When an enemy character targets this character with an attack, this character adds 2 dice to its defense roll, unless the attacking character pays 2 power. So,
which is so good.
Seems really good.
Now
how did we go through this whole thing without talking about that?
How
did we not talk about this?
I had it. It's pulled up. Like I always build like a dummy roster, and I always put the character and then a card, and I just completely forgot to talk about the card, which is such a good card. I do have a question. Unnatural Mutation, because it is a different superpower. If you take somebody like Enchantress and you have to pay because her superpower is listed different,
I think you'd have to pay both.
You have to pay 4 power.
Yeah, I think so.
To turn off
I think so too.
To turn off the add 2 dice and turn off the always count Mystic. That is disgusting. Well, you can't play. Wait, you can't play it on Enchantress because that's. But you know who you can play it on? Mysterio.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You're right.
Why can't you play it on 3 or less?
Yeah.
See, I want to play this on because there's almost no downside. I want to play it on X23.
Because you immediately heal the damage up.
She will immediately heal the damage.
I want to play it on Baron Strucker. And that's the person
who has it
at all times. I mean, he's gonna be there, and he's a 3, and he has healing factor.
And he does have healing factor.
None of these are lies. Fred's telling no lies.
Oh, who do you want to play this on, Brandon? Everybody else has said who they want to play it on.
Ah, fuck, dude. I don't know.
Mysterio.
I haven't thought about
I said
playing them at
Mysterio. That's
all.
mine. Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck. Let me think of someone. 3-threat character. You know what? I want to play it on. I don't know. That's probably wrong. Fuck. What's a character? Oh, dude, I don't know.
We can come back to you.
Don't worry about it. But this
I
is
don't know. What about Nebula? I think Nebula would be fun with that.
There you go. Yeah, give it to Nebula.
That feels like a waste.
Probably.
This card is very good. I don't know what else to say. Like, I feel like if you take Zola, you probably always take this card, and you probably,
Absolutely.
always play it turn 2. Like, this is an amazing card. So, but yep. Well, anyways, back to the standard stuff. I think all we have left is Fred's non sequitur recommendation. So go ahead, Fred.
Yeah. So today, I'm bringing another classic game. And this is the third in my listing of classic video games for this 1940s era MCP characters. Today, the game that I'm bringing is a space fleet strategy game from quite a while ago. I'm not 100% if it's 20 years ago, but I'm just gonna say that it is, and it's the game Homeworld.
Have I heard of that? I might have.
It's
it is-
just barely 20 years ago, I think.
No,
Yeah,
it's
buddy.
23 years ago.
Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
wow.
A week.
this is
Its
a-
initial release was September 28th, 1999.
Holy moly, I feel old. I hate this. This game was such a fantastic piece of sci-fi for a growing boy. It was a game where a character decided to place herself into the ship's central computer, and her name was Karen Sajet, and she becomes Fleet Command. And in the game, you play as a species of people who are cast off of your home planet when it is destroyed by another species, and you have to find your old homeworld. And it is a fantastic space sim strategy game, and it really just needs to be experienced. And that's all I can say.
Homeworld. Fred, did you say that? Shit. Chrono Trigger. Was that the name of it?
Yes.
That's the SNES one.
It is on SNES.
Yeah.
I have
Yes.
I have an SNES like classic or whatever. Like
It
that.
is on the
I
classic.
think it's on the classic.
Oh,
Well,
maybe I should
you-
give it a try. Huh?
You should go play it. Go play it because it is a fantastic game.
Or just buy it, and if you don't like it, Fred has to pay you back.
Oh yeah, that's true. He did do the reimbursement. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Yeah, maybe I should try that out. All right, well, thank you, Fred, and thank you everyone at home for joining us. So I hope that you liked this week's cast. If there's a character, if they don't release any new characters, and there's another character that you want to suggest for us to review to keep the troll going of never looking at Human Torch, let us know, and we'll do that one before we do Human Torch. So
Fred, Homeworld or StarCraft?
Homeworld. And that's a hot take. But I
I just wanted that to piss off the entire world. All right, take us out,
Yeah.
Homeworld or StarCraft? I've never played Homeworld.
Yeah,
so it's hard to say.
I stand by it. Well, Homeworld is a much more cerebral game. It's slow paced, and it's not really played against other people.
Not only did you say Homeworld was better, you called StarCraft players idiots.
I don't think he said all that.
I think people would
I did
argue
not
that,
say that.
Homeworld copied StarCraft. So
No, it did not.
No, they are
It was
such
completely
different games.
It is so different. They could not be more different strategy games.
are they both strategy games?
Yeah, they are both strategy games.
Are they both? One would say strategy
Set in
games
space.
in the galaxy.
They are both set in
That's
space.
all I needed to know. It copied it. All right, Jared, take us out.
Let us know in the comments. Homeworld or StarCraft? What do you prefer? I don't know what the fuck's going on. Thank you guys for joining us. and I hope you guys have a good week.